what do you want in life? Okay.
Fulfilling relationship.
Okay, let's say for someone who wants an actual decent relationship and who wants a woman who is, let's say, pure, can't be a hypocrite and do the opposite, right?
Practice what you preach.
Exactly. Well said. Thank you.
Talk the talk,
I can't
walk the walk.
The counter argument though is that people will change for the whole idea of experience. Say you maybe have a low body count even if you're a virgin. You want experience as a man because they say body count as a man is different from a woman, but if it comes to pure, really what's the difference and how does that relate to this?
But also, it comes to like the religious aspect, right? Why is it that in every religion it is something wrong to go and sleep around? Why is it wrong? Also relates to why everyone wants to break that rule, right? I feel like there's a reason why it's there, the law is there, and if you break it, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Well, I think I know where you're going with this, and I can kind of answer. We, as humans, we
Yes,
are
please
full
do.
of sin, and since the beginning of time, since Adam and Eve, you know, they
Right.
committed the first
Common
sin.
thought.
Eve took the apple of knowledge and ate it, and that was the kind of like the first sin that kind of broke into, you know, the rest of us. So we're full of sin. We want to sin. We want to break rules, and that's like the kind of like the nature of us. So it's not weird, uncommon to say, but people will like to, you know, they have this, you know, need. They kind of have like this. Again, it's like the devil like talking behind their head and saying like, oh, you know, go do this. This is gonna feel good. This is gonna empower you. This is gonna, you know, solve all your problems. This is gonna make you happy. You know, the devil likes to promise you a lot of things with the snap of a finger and give you riches, go from rags to riches in an instant with it, committing, you know, certain things that are immoral or bad, or, you know, breaking the rules, breaking God's rules, to be specific.
What is this?
This is Mystery Talks.
Okay, mic check. We're good.
Yo.
All right. Welcome back, everyone. Mystery Talks podcast, episode number 11.
11.
Yes.
One, baby.
Yes,
One.
11.
One.
Back at the usual studio, of course.
Yeah.
I'm your
Lovely
host, Ty
background.
Express, with my lovely co-host, Guy 1, Guy 2. You know what it is. Number one podcast in the world. Number one most influential, most intellectual, and most handsome podcast in the world. Today, again, is another episode more like a sit back and relax, kind of chill. Maybe get your popcorn out, you know, get a glass of water or wine, whatever you prefer. We're not really talking any drama, gossip, or world news. It's more issues, if we can send issues. It's not, I mean, not really issues, but our audience right now, we will all relate with one another. And I'd like to just start it off by saying how difficult, in today's modern age, how difficult it is to get into relationships. So this is kind of a topic we're bringing back again, because again, it's so widespread. Like, there's so many things to talk about it, and
Yeah, why is it so fucking hard?
I know.
It's also a topic that's never gonna die. It's
True.
always gonna be there. So
True.
Especially for young people as well. You know, that's usually the time where it matters.
but obviously, as you can see, we are men, so we cannot speak as of the female gender. We're gonna speak of our own experiences as men, or boys, or whatever you wanna call us.
Yeah. First we're boys, then we become men. But how do you become a man? Maybe that's a question we'll circle back to. But Guy 2, I want to say I like your glasses. I like the little goofy vibe you're going for.
Also, I wanna say this is the first time I'm wearing red. There's a reason. It's because, you know,
You're on your
it's not
period?
because.
Yeah, why are you wearing red?
I see my hands. It's not because I ran out of t-shirts, black t-shirts. It's because, like Ty was saying, we want to talk about love and what color describes love perfectly, or the best way.
Green.
I mean, if you say what color describes love, and you want
Money
to say
matters.
it's if you want if and you want to say it's
Get your money
red,
up, not your funny up. Fuck women.
you know, if you think
Sorry,
about a
sorry.
heart, then sure, you say, oh yeah, red, and you know, there's
Yeah.
heart, love, red, blah
Well, the
blah
heart
blah.
is actually colorless. It's the blood that makes it red. So,
True,
Okay, scientist.
yeah.
true. That's
I mean,
that
as you
is
can see
true.
with my double glasses, as Ty did not really mention, but I
Oh,
am
my bad. It's
excited.
just wearing this mask. I also cannot see fuck all, but
What mask?
I could notice the
What
red though,
what mask
and
are you
I
talking
forgot
about?
to bring out my glasses.
Yeah, I
This
don't
is
know what you're
how we
talking about.
are.
What mask? This
Yeah,
is who
we
we
are-
are.
we're
Guy
always
one,
like
guy
this.
two, and Ty.
We're always like this here.
Oh,
There's no mask.
But yeah, let's talk about relationships because we did last time. I also had another topic, but I feel like it doesn't do it justice for this episode. It's unrelated. Maybe another time we'll talk about it. Um, so like I don't really know how to start this. I'm be honest. Let's talk about
Let's get right
relationships.
in.
Do you guys have any like starting topics, questions?
a question?
Yeah, I have
like
a question. Yeah,
Go
so
ahead.
let's talk about a scenario. I think a lot of our audiences are young men. I mean, even older folks can even maybe tune into this and see the perspective of a younger person. Because one thing that older people don't really realize is that generations, age groups, they're different in terms of behaviors, especially with relationships. The way you meet someone 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, is much different than how it is now. I mean, same say it could be for like 5 years ahead. We don't know, right? But
Mhm.
the one topic I want to talk about is for a 20-year-old, someone who is at least driven, is a serious relationship something that should be considered as a need?
Huh.
That's the question. Should it be considered as a need?
Yeah.
I mean, I would say yes. That's like
Sorry,
my
is
first
it just in your
instinct
20s?
instinctual answer.
Or
A young person, someone that is.
Oh, a young person specifically, but wait, how young?
yeah.
I would say 20.
Pause.
20.
20?
Let's go with 20. We're over
Okay.
18. You're in either school or work, and
Okay.
you're really trying to
Yeah,
develop
you
yourself as
you know
as
what?
man.
A lot of people think, oh, you're in your 20s, you need to focus on yourself, you need to work hard, no distractions, no women, no this and that, but I mean, you can
Fuck
build
that.
you
Fuck
can
that.
you can start having this foundation at the very beginning, with a woman, and you can both thrive together and build a this empire together. I think every great king has an amazing queen. So that's how I see it.
Should that be seen though, like as a young person? Should he be looking, or she? We don't really know if the female perspective is the same, but should they be looking for their queen? Like right off the bat, say they don't, they don't have experience and they just want to
That's such a foolish thing to say, in my opinion.
try.
Well,
Why is that?
I'm not saying. I'm not.
Why
saying
is that
you're saying
foolish?
This is the perspective I'm just trying
Yeah,
to gain.
yeah. I'm not trying to say anything like towards you. I'm just
Thanks.
saying, like,
Love
that
your
whole
glasses,
idea-
by the way. Just have to
Thanks.
reiterate.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it. Fuck. I don't get compliments, and that was nice.
Continue.
You were saying, guy too?
Yes.
You were disagreeing with my perspective.
Yes. So, the foolish perspective. I don't think that's even if back then. Let's say in the 90s, 80s, whatever. That perspective was very rare. It was the minority. Why? I feel like social media has brought so much distraction over everything that's actually important in lives, which is relationships, money, or not money, just income, having
Like what you
something
value is
sustainable.
different? Is that what you're saying?
And I feel like now they're trying to, because there's more lonely people, there's more, they want to make you say it's okay to be alone. They want to kind of drag you in a place where it benefits them more. And right now, I feel like being lonely or breaking that family barrier is the best thing for them. I don't know if maybe I sound crazy. That's my opinion.
I get your point, guy too. I get your point. Yeah, no, the social media, the internet as a whole, has changed the dynamic of society. And for sure, before we had all this access to the internet, everything at our fingertips kind of life. Even right now, this very podcast, we're not even in the same place together having this, which I would say organic conversation. This is online. So life has become very virtual. Life itself is very it's almost not real life, let's say. And because
Video game.
everything we access it through a screen, everything we see, everything we get fed over a screen, it definitely has an impact on how we drive ourselves for our own future. And when it comes to relationships, there's no difference. I mean, we're gonna have certain expectations because, again, we're getting fed all this information online. We see a bunch of women online. We're seeing all these standards, and we're putting ourselves in a mentality where, like, okay, I've already pictured myself, my dream girl, because of all the different, thousands, tens of thousands of women I've seen online, and all the types of women I've seen online. So I've kind of, put kind of like a Lego. I kind of block by block put it up together like my dream woman, and I'm never gonna find that because, again, real life and social media or the online life is not the same. So it's interesting to see how we can say, like, oh, is it worth seeking for a partner? Is it worth doing this or that? And now it's so hard because, again, of everything I just said, everyone has like all these unrealistic standards, and
Right. And the question is, for someone that listens to these things online, right? Like, let's talk about the current perspective, right? What we see right now in the present is, have, you need to have respect let's talk on the mass perspective. You need to have respect for yourself to look for something that you find is compatible. But the thing is, sometimes there's an overarching theme that there's a too high of an expectation, and it's something that, I've been waiting this long, or all these women are like this, I'm gonna categorize like this, and I'm waiting for the perfect one. But then it goes to show, like, is there a perfect one? Is there, something that you have to wait for and see and to say, oh, automatically, hey, this is the one? Or do you really have to compromise? And not compromise in the way where it's bad, it's like just realize that it's not perfect. There has to be some sort of factor that could, maybe you don't like, but 9 out of the 10 things is good. And
Question.
Yeah.
I want to say, do you think, going back to that question, do you think there is a perfect woman for you?
I think you can make it perfect.
Yeah, exactly. Do you think there is like a designed girl for you, or do you make someone perfect in your eyes?
And that's a good question because, for someone that hasn't been married or hasn't really saw much of life, it's quite difficult to think that. But I really think that if someone respects you, we talked about this in the last podcast, what is like the key pillars to maintaining a relationship, and the big one was respect. And I think as long as both people respect each other, they can mold into the best of themselves, right? If you are in a relationship, you should get better. You should improve yourself. You should improve your partner. And
that's how a good relationship works. That's how like two both parties stay happy.
in a relationship, you're gonna be forced to improve yourself because you don't want to be the person in the relationship that is doing less or worse, or is the lazy one, or the one that's not. Hey, what is this? What's going on?
someone
Oh,
farted.
sorry, guy one farted. And I was just
No.
Wait, you guys are in the same room?
Look behind us.
Wait,
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're Ty,
Wait, oh,
do
I
not
didn't know
see
you guys
you-
were in the
you-
actual podcast
Ty,
room. This is just a virtual background.
Ty,
Well,
why
you
do
guys
not
are in
switch
act-
chairs. Why do you not? Because we're in the same chair, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
come on,
Right
man.
here, right
I,
I thought you knew
I-
this.
I-
You're not supposed to
I got
expose,
confused.
secrets.
I mean, I guess I'm not in all the secrets. Even though I'm the host, I should know everything.
Well, maybe you
Just-
do host the secrets and you're pretending.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm out the closet, Ty.
all right. Well, I
Anyways.
completely forgot what was being talked about now.
Relationships, how.
I was going to say something.
Respect,
Oh, sorry.
Right? Like
Yeah.
Respect,
how-
yes.
If there's a perfect woman, right? Is
Yeah,
is
yeah.
that
Oh, I
something
was
that
gonna say, yes.
comes right there?
About that. Well, there's no such thing as perfection. No human is perfect, but
The brain centers towards that. I feel it wants the perfect thing.
yes,
as a
yes,
expectation.
but yeah, no
how you
woman
become
is
better.
perfect, no man is perfect, but you will find perfection in your imperfect woman that you fall in love with, and it's gonna be, you know, these small things that no one else sees in her that only you see, and she's gonna become your world. And that's yeah, I mean, it takes
Become addicted.
it takes time though. It's not something, I mean, I guess you can say also these old fashioned, you know, fall in love at first sight kind of couples, which does happen. I think it still does happen, very rarely now. But
Is
I
love
think
at
a guy
first
one you were
sight-
saying what?
Is love at first sight a real thing?
I think yeah. Yeah,
It's
I've seen it
minority.
actually. I've seen it.
Yeah, it's true.
I've
though.
seen it
It's-
work
it's-
also, and I envy it. I envy it too.
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't relate.
Yeah, I envy it. I it's not happened to me, but I envy it, and I would only wish actually for everyone for it to be like that. But again, we don't live in a fantasy world, and this
But
isn't
I think
a
it
Disney movie.
it isn't like exactly, yeah, like you said, it's perfectly said. It's like a Disney movie, and everyone wants to kind of have that Disney aspect. Or like
Well, I
Disney
said actually
movie
it
aspect.
isn't, but yeah, everyone kind of wants it to be that way.
Exactly
Yeah.
that fantasy.
But-
which they
But
would
it also
see
comes
as
with
good.
like not consequences, but it also comes with its own problems, right? Because you get all these feelings right away. Sometimes maybe your judgment is wrong. Maybe there is something that along the way will hit you to a big old like blockage. So I don't think it sounds good, but I feel like if you're in it, it's a roller coaster, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's not perfect.
Right. But yeah, you were saying Ty before I interrupted.
What was I saying? You know, I had
think you
a.
finished- I think you finished your sentence.
I think I did finish. I think I did finish,
Yeah.
but no, I
So,
think I got my point. I
right,
mean, if
yeah.
ever
I just wanted to I guess add on to the point we were talking before, the love at first sight was like, you know, the imperfect woman and how that's the case when it comes to, I guess, relationships. It's not black and white, right? You don't get like an if and if. One thing I wanted to ask though is that if you're someone that, let's say, loves too quickly or like can get attached, what is the best way, you know, when you meet a woman or you navigate, what's the best way to make sure, let's say, your soul is not damaged, or like you're doing your best to prevent or feel like you're getting off track, feel like, oh, I'm chasing, like what's the best way? I guess I put this to Ty because since you've already been through a lot.
Okay, so this is actually it's an interesting topic because yeah, a lot of people struggle with this. A lot of people don't like getting into relationships because one, they get attached too fast and they're afraid that, you know, if they lose them, then they're gonna get heartbroken, they're gonna be depressed, sad, whatever, for either the man and the woman. And yeah, I think the reason, I'm not like a psychologist or anything, but I would like to say that the reason why that is because I think people with themselves, they don't maybe get enough love, or they don't love themselves enough So they, I don't know, it's kind of like they're suppressing themselves, and when they meet someone that they truly like, that they enjoy being with, and they, instantly click, and they get attached too quickly. But the partner, I guess, the person that they get attached to quickly, they don't feel the same way. They don't have that reciprocation of love, or maybe they do at first, but then because it was too quick, because the connection was too quick, let's say one of the parties already got what they wanted right away, and it felt too easy. It's gonna feel dull. It's gonna feel empty fast, because it's like, oh, okay, well, I already got what I wanted. On to the next. And some people are like that, unfortunately. They don't. Some people can't really settle. Some people, as soon as they get what they want, they'll pass on to the next. And this goes for both men and women. And because this is seen, we see it. We hear it from our friends and family. We hear, this gossip online with celebrities, but everywhere. It's very common. So people that don't have relationships know that this is a thing, and they'll be like, oh, well, why should I even try? Because, if I try and I fall in love, then the person, will leave me. And so it's definitely there's no, I can't say if there's like a right or wrong answer to this, but at the end of the day, there's no reward if you don't put in the risk, or if you don't try at all. And good things don't come easy, so you have to work hard for it at some point. And sometimes if you don't look for it early, or if you don't keep your doors open at least early, it might be too late when you do start looking. When you say, oh, okay, I'm ready now as a person. I have my job, I make a lot of money, I have my own house, car, like everything is good for me. All I need in life now is a partner to settle down with. But you're already 50 years old now, and there's not many options. So,
Right.
and life is running short.
And I
So,
think that really comes
yeah.
with I just want to add to what you're saying. Don't lose your thought, because it's good. I just want to say, like, it's basically like it's like the gym, let's say. Once you go, no one is good at the gym naturally, or just anything at all. You have to try. You have to basically start somewhere, and this goes hand in hand with love. You have to start somewhere, because let's say if you start out too late, you're gonna be so behind over the average men that you're gonna have a disadvantage, and maybe you don't want to have a lower chance of finding the one. So that's, I think.
Yeah. No, it's true. Well, you said it's a good example, but I would say actually some people, even though, people say like warriors are born, not made, and also the other way around. Some people are also just born romantics, and they're very good at let's say talking to women, or flirting, or finding that special lady, making them fall in love. It does happen. And if you're not that person, if you're not that person, at the end of the day, yeah, like I too said, I mean, you do have to work for it, and you have to try, and you will only, make yourself better if you do try. You have to find what's good for you out there. So, for the people that feel lonely, for the men and women that feel lonely out there, they think they don't really have many options, or they don't even know what they want in life. The only thing I would say is, keep your doors open. Don't try to hide yourself, in this shell of yours that, you're too scared, too afraid to be in a relationship because X or Y. So, Guy 1, you have a question?
Yes. So when you're
Oh,
saying
you take him, like, you take his question as soon as he raises his hand.
Well, I like the color white more than red.
yeah, of course, that's why I wore it. It's a great contrast. No, but it was a really good point, right? You know, keeping your doors open. But the one thing I really want to dive into, you know, in terms of, let's say, someone young, you know, and is looking for that, but making sure they have their priorities is like, what's the right mindset when it comes to, you know, being open-minded, and what's the mindset they should have keeping in mind if they're speaking to someone that, you know, could potentially be a partner, or, you know, let's say with a man, with a girl, right?
The right
What should
mindset,
he
huh?
keep in the back of his mind?
I
You know,
I
because
think I don't know if this sounds good, but I feel like it's the same thing as if you go grocery shopping, right? You know, this saying they say, it's very classic, don't go grocery shopping hungry. Don't go
Because
looking for
you'll
love.
only pick what you want, not what you need. Yeah, same thing with again,
Same thing
yeah,
with
that's
love.
very good. Same thing with relationships. If you're too thirsty, if you're too desperate, um, you know, you kind of like fall into temptation, and you're gonna end up at the strip club, and not with a lady, a wife, you know. So
Potential.
potential again, yeah, exactly.
right.
So in terms
So
of mindset, you know, it's hard to say because a lot of people will act a certain way, or will try to, you know, put this persona to kind of gain the woman that they like, so they're not themselves. Or actually, people will try to be themselves. They will try their hardest to, you know, just be themselves, but they end up not being themselves. But because of that fact, they try too hard being themselves, so they end up not even being themselves. And I think if you really want something that wants to, you know, settle and stay with you in the long run, is just something that has to come natural. Something that, let's say you go on your first date, you don't have to, you know, pretend. You don't have to act like somebody you're not, and and this is gonna also filter out a lot of potential, you know, partners that are not right for you as well. So it's good to be that. It's good to be, you know, your true self. And yeah, I mean, let's say you're in your first date, and you know, you're the person you're with. They might be very beautiful, you know, attractive. And they have a lot of really good qualities. And but they don't really, at first, they don't really see that you're, you know, a potentially good partner for them. So immediately, what do? You start trying. You put on try hard mode, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna agree with whatever this person says, so I can gain them, I can win them over. And maybe that happens. Let's say you're successful at that, you win them over, and fast forward, you are this person that you're not. You know, you have this character that you kind of created, for this, you know, wife or husband that you're gonna be with in the future. And before it's too late, you know, it's almost like this character is stayed within you, but you're miserable because it's not actually the person that you are at all, and you end up imprisoned with your own self. So you end up just being depressed. And I know this has happened actually. This has
It's
definitely happened
actually
with some people. So
it's
yeah, that's
it's
the
in a
main thing I
movie
would
as
say.
well.
Just try to be natural. Do what comes naturally to you, like instinctively natural. It is what I mean. So, not
Okay.
something that you have to like think in your head, and you have, okay, should I go with option A, B, C? Should I say this, that? And no, just boom, like throw it out there. And if they don't like it, well, good. That's not the person for you. And if they like it, well, then how welcoming is that? At the end of the day, that's like a filter again. So it's gonna work. It's gonna be good for you, I think.
Well, okay. What's the best way, and you guys think, the best way to be looking for one but not seeming desperate?
it's a really good point, right? Because there's all different situations, right? But one thing that I think about is, you obviously, I think the man more often than not initiates the interest, right? Either asks them out, um, you know,
I
shows
disagree.
signs. I think
Yeah,
obviously
it's the
the girl has to
But the
like
thing
you as
is,
well.
Yeah.
I think the man really has to be the one in charge. I mean, that's the whole idea.
That's nature. That's get
You
like
know
the
what?
chivalry thing to do.
But
You know, the knight going to rescue the princess at the top of the tower. It's the oldest, you know, thing in our book as humans, is what we do always. You know, that's the
I
manly
think you
thing to
have to
do.
let ego aside. I think you have to be
Of
able
course,
to
yeah.
know that, you know, it's for you. You know, whatever other people think, it's really your character that matters. It's not really like whatever anyone else's think. And I think, you know, a lot of people nowadays, they think they're so, you know, like high value. And even if there's someone that, you know, maybe it's not the perfect woman, right? Like you, obviously everyone wants an innocent, pure, you know, all this, but in life, it's going to happen, right? And I think just being, you know, like whatever instincts come to you, you go with it. But I think the man has to initiate.
Yeah,
I
a
feel like
man
sometimes
has to. Yeah.
the girls like to. Some girls might show you like they're interested, but they'll give you signs that are so low key. I don't. It's basically like a female brain never wants their pride is too high. What from my experience, they'll give you signs, but the signs are so subtle, and as a man's brain doesn't work like that. For us, we'll never realize it. I feel like because girls do also chase a tiny bit, right? They like to pick which man they want to be as well. So they might purposely put themselves next to you at some places just because they want you to make that first move. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
So it's also you should also be aware of that.
that's a
'Cause
good point. Yeah,
that gives you a lot of advantage. Not advantage,
I
but a lot of like upfront
yeah, no, I think these are really good points. I think one topic that we can also talk about. This will be a little harsh, I would say, and this is just coming from me. Is let's debate specific, I guess, messages that are thrown out in society when it either come red pill or just, you know, statements. I'd like to hear your guys' take on it. But we already know our opinions, right? Like we want everyone to be in a loving relationship. You know, I think that's a need that everyone needs to be, as well as chasing excellence as a man, as hopefully as a woman. Is let's talk about the first one. Is do you believe that if you are in a relationship with a woman, or if the woman's with you, and if there's someone of higher value, either let's say for you, if there's a more beautiful girl that likes you, or for the woman, if she thinks there's a more, you know, good, better looking man or higher value, do you think most people would leave and go for someone better? And let's talk about, let's say, the younger population, the 20s, the Gen Zs.
Yes, and it is increasingly declining. Well, sorry, not declining. It's climbing, because I think one factor why nowadays divorce rates are so high as well. And again, this is a fact. Like most relationships that don't have this, that are not religious, or that don't have God, kind of, you know, it's like the glue in that relationship that kind of always keeps them together. They tend to separate. They find someone else. They find someone better, as you said, more higher value, whatever. Unlike relationships that are religious or that have God in their lives. So nowadays, with the Gen Zs, like you said, they're very either agnostic or atheist, and they don't really believe in anything. Or, I mean, they do have a belief system. We all have belief systems, but
You know what the
because they
belief
don't
system
have
is?
what?
Wait, the belief system is literally what's the coolest thing? What's the trend? It's not about because right now God is perceived as something uncool.
Why?
And they'll
What does cool really mean, though?
well, not cool, but like trendy. Whatever is that's how the Gen Z works.
The deity that they believe in is themselves, really, is whatever is best for
Exactly.
me. And
Yeah.
if I'm not okay in this relationship, I can leave whenever I want. That's how it is. Bye bye, you. Go be lonely. Fuck you. It's sad to say, but that's what it is. So, in a relationship, again, I said this many times now, but in a relationship that's close to God and there's issues, there's problems, they always have this thing to look up to and say, you know what, because of him, we are here and we need to try harder. So, and they can solve. They end up solving whatever issues because of that. So, yeah, Sky too.
Scary.
Do you think this is the reason why people can't commit in a relationship? Is, well, the people who can actually who have a belief system, let's say a belief to God, is because they have the commitment. They're committed to God, and people are losing that commitment feel like that, not feeling, but they're losing. They don't know how to commit, and that's it. Also relates to relationships because people who can commit to God will also be able to commit to one person. Does that have
Yeah.
my
So
question
this
does
is
that have
this
a
is gonna go down a whole other like conversation hole because right now you just brought up and we're gonna start getting into this. People don't know how to commit because that's what they've been told to. Don't commit. This is what they're learning now. Again, and this has to do with social media, TV, their influence, celebrities, music artists, what they see on TikTok, Instagram,
Doja Cat.
this
Doja
whole,
Cat.
yeah,
Doja
this
Cat,
whole
yeah.
fake reality that
But
they're growing up
why?
in.
Why?
Why?
Aren't you logical to think, right? Like in mystery talks, we want people to always think about these questions: is why are they purporting this to us? Are they acting in our best interest when they say that?
Oof,
No, of
now,
course not.
now that you ask this, we can go a whole other direction in conversation because, okay, I can answer this
Should
really
we?
quickly, but,
Should we?
but
Oh, yeah,
again,
that's the thing. Should we do? I feel like we should do one podcast about that topic.
but
because
listen,
it is a
listen.
very
Okay,
deep
just to
topic.
answer really quickly, guy one, and when you destroy the family unit, the nuclear family, when you separate that strength and what family means and what man and woman means, when you disconnect God from family, you're a lot easier to control and to benefit from. You're a lot easier to be, sold to. You're a lot easier to be, influenced or enslaved. Exactly. So we've seen time and time again that is the case, and that the big governments, big pharma, big media, they don't have their best interests at heart for the population.
We know that, but I'm saying for the individual that hears this, why don't they think, right? Like with the whole trendy thing of, oh, it's cool to not commit. Don't they think, why are they saying that and why not?
Why should they
that's
believe
the
us?
Sources. But
Why-
they do find sources. Their sources are just not credible. They trust people who don't, because there's more and more false credibility and false fakeness in this world.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
That's what I fucking hate.
Here's the thing. No
If you're a
one's
fake
actually gonna
person-
be searching for these kinds of answers. No one actually does that. And let's be honest, the
I
people
agree.
that do search for these answers, for the little moment of hope that they have in their hearts, and they're like searching for answers. Let's say they're watching this video, and maybe they see a viral clip of us online. I'll be like, wow, this is inspiring. I'm gonna try harder. Scroll. 5 minutes later, they don't even know what the fuck they saw 5 minutes ago, because their brain is fucking goo right now. Of all the information that's like cycling through over and over again every day, every hour on the clock. So it's hard, and for the people that are gonna watch this passionately and kind of listen to what we have to say, who hopefully, think it goes through one ear but doesn't go out through the other. Hopefully it stays in there. It can have a positive impact. And that's what we try to do, at least, right, boys?
Yeah.
Of course.
So at least we're trying. And at least, again, for the people that do listen and don't go to La La Land afterwards and back to this virtual world that they live in,
Yeah.
if
Okay.
you can save at least a few people, I mean, I
Yeah.
say that's God's work.
That's it. No, we wanna help promote that. And if you saw the last podcast, our guest Daquan actually
Yeah,
wanted
Daquan.
to ask me why do we do this, and the whole idea is to sort of give the perspective to others and see if maybe they accept it or not, what they think is right.
But also, most importantly, because again, we're not the only podcast that quote unquote wants to spread positivity. I mean, I think
the
the main reason is, you know, because we're wearing these masks, we want to get disconnected from this idea that at some point, if we do become a certain, you know, let's say famous, we don't want to. We don't. At least
will.
I and
We
I know
will.
for
I know
you
you
guys,
guys
we don't want to be idolized.
Listen, clip this, editor, clip this, okay?
Yeah, clip this. This is a viral
Please
short
do.
right here.
Yeah.
Look, we will be known in the future. That it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, right? As long as we stay consistent. Now, if we don't stay consistent,
Guy 2,
then
say that
of
again.
course- As long as we stay
No,
consistent.
no, before that.
Say what?
It's
You
not a
said-
matter of if, but when.
You said we
Yeah.
will be what?
Gay.
We will be known in the
Known.
future.
We'll be known in the future. Yes.
Say it
we
again
will.
now.
We will be known in the future.
Okay.
Why do you want me to say it again?
I don't know. I just.
We will be known.
I,
But listen to me, okay? Listen. I'm gonna be close up.
okay.
We will
Oh,
be known
all
in the
right.
future.
Close and
It's not a
personal.
okay, as long as we stay together, we're consistent because the message we're preaching is actual facts. And if people actually wake up and realize that what we're saying makes sense, you will understand why we're gonna be known. I don't even care about becoming famous. If we did, like Ty said, we'll be showing our face. We don't give a fuck about that. Okay, I know why we're gonna be known because our messages
Exactly.
are pure, are real, and are authentic, and it's from three perspectives that should
Exactly.
not be together, but they are.
Exactly. And that's why if we get 1,000
Yeah.
likes in this video, we will do a face reveal on the next episode.
And I will do a video with Mr. Beast.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
What's our sponsor of today?
Today's sponsor. Oh yeah, I have it right here. Let me just.
Not private.
Okay. So our sponsor for today's video is Logitech. Here I have my Logitech mouse, that looks all bright, and I mean camera can't pick it up, but there's RGB. Logitech, thank you for sponsoring this video. I'm
We love you,
using
Logitech.
the product that they
Thank you,
send
Logitech.
me, and I would rate it 9 out of 10. It's very responsive, high DPI.
What is it? What is it missing?
What's
What-
the
Yeah.
extra 1 out
To
of
get
10 that
yeah,
needs to be there?
excellent.
Oh, what is it missing? You know, I would say the comfort, you know, hand to mouse feel is not 100% there. You know, I can't I can rest my palm in it, but you know, there's my pinky finger that's kind of just dangling off, and it doesn't feel very comfortable. So that's why I give it a 9 out of 10. But the fluidity of the mask, it has the mask, what? Of the mouse, you know, it's very fluid. It's very fast, responsive. The clickiness, I like it. You know, there's a lot of buttons that you can map, and the wheel. It has two options. You can kind of, you know, click a button here, and the wheel can kind of go on and on forever, or you click it again, and it's like clicky. It's like it
If
stops.
only all mouses were like that. Shout out Logitech.
Yeah, so thank you Logitech for sponsoring this video, and this video would not be possible without it.
Thank you so much, Logitech.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanna let's talk about our conversation before. So
Yeah,
Yeah. Put your
so
glasses, eh? Alright, I'm gonna take mine off.
yeah, so
I
back
wanna
to our
say
conversation
something first
that
of
we were just talking about.
let's
Like,
go
why
to-
is DC Marvel? Why is DC better than Marvel?
why is
Oh.
DC not why is DC not
Why is-
AC? Huh? Why are we talking DC? DC is a fucking
Why is
direct
Marvel
current.
called Marvel
Why-
anyway?
Yeah.
Okay, very
Why
random.
talk-
Who's the strongest fictional character of all time? I want to hear your guys' opinion.
Probably Superman.
Oh,
Honestly.
I like that answer. Okay.
I was gonna say Thanos.
No, but okay. So again, let's
Thanos
to
got
my
it.
question.
Buddy.
What the
Who,
Infinity
who
Gauntlet, though.
would be not the most powerful, the strongest, like raw, like muscle strength?
Ah,
Who would be the strongest fictional character? Again, we include everything, like anime, you know, comics, superheroes, everything.
I would say Hulk. Because Hulk, when he's mad, he smashes. And I would feel like Superman is not like he's gonna his cardio is not there. Hulk,
Okay.
he
Okay,
can
I like
last
that.
infinity
Well,
rounds.
honestly, Iron Man Hulk. Now that is a sight
Oh.
to be seen.
Yeah, that is a sight to be seen.
But
I
didn't Hulk beat Iron Man Hulk?
No, I mean Hulk in an Iron Man suit. You just
Oh.
cannot destroy it. You probably got some crazy,
True. You have to like you
mechanobiology
break
in
his shit and then there he is. He's untouched. He comes
Yeah.
in, bam.
so
second round.
in comic book lore, I will say, World Breaker Hulk is one of the strongest out there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
What about you, Ty? What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Superman still takes the dub. If we look at pure raw numbers and facts,
Yeah, I mean,
you
he
know,
did that
he
shit
can
out
just
of it.
rest in the sun a couple days and then basically destroy whatever he wants with
Whatever
a
he
single
wants, yeah.
blow.
That's strength.
You know, kind of, and you know it'll just whoosh away with ease.
For sure. Great. I love the conclusion. All
yeah.
right, let's
No,
move on
wait.
now. So,
Yeah.
we have discovered that a lot of this insight to leaving a partner if it's better is tied towards, societal standards in places where there are more atheist centric and less religion focused, because obviously religion is used to instill morals with people. And we do encourage that. I think whatever values align with you, you should choose. And for sure, if I'm looking for a woman, I would look for someone that follows the book. Truly, not just society and go on Instagram and say, "Oh, I'm following religion." Is what they actually believe in, right? Who they are as a character. The next one, though, however, is a little, I'll say, unfiltered, and we might have to censor this out.
I like
Not-
that. I like them filtered.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be straight up. All right, young guy in your 20s. Do you just fuck a lot of women in your 20s and don't give a fuck? Have experience, bang chicks, because when you're 40, 50, you want to fuck 20-year-olds, you can't. Your dick doesn't work. What are your thoughts to that fucked up statement?
So before I answer this statement, I kind of want to answer the first kind of
Yeah.
thing that you
I
said.
just found this is not me. I just found it.
No.
I mean, it's
And
very
I
interesting.
mean, it's
have
a very
another
general
answer.
statement, which a lot of guys do think.
Okay.
So you're not wrong to think that. But
Okay,
before I answer
You
this,
answer the
wait,
first
guys,
one. I want to answer the second one. You answer the first one.
No,
No, but I didn't
the
answer.
First one, buddy.
I didn't even answer the first nor the second one. I just want to answer to the first thing that he was saying, so I can answer that. So let me say,
There you go.
when you were talking
the
about
fuck
God
up.
and morality, I want to ask a question
Well, I
directly
had a
to our
good answer
audience.
For you. You're not gonna get it.
No, I
No.
apologize.
You know what?
You will.
This is. You know what? On the 8th episode, I said I'll quit.
Okay,
I meant
editor,
it.
just
I fucking
mute
meant
the guy too for now. You were saying
Fucking right.
morality and God. I want to say, I want to ask this directly to our audience. So I'm going to look directly into the camera. How do you ground morality without God? And who decides that? That's all I want to say. Okay, you can answer the first, second thing now, guy two.
Guy 2, you're
Guy
back. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Pretend nothing will happen. We did not say anything foul.
Yeah. I want to say, depends. What do you want in life? Okay.
You want
Do
a
you
relationship, a fulfilling relationship. That
Well, okay. Let's say, for someone who wants an actual decent relationship and who wants a woman who is, let's say, pure, you can't be a hypocrite and do the opposite, right? If you're looking, I feel like if you're preaching something, if you're not preaching, you're looking for something.
practice what you preach.
Exactly. Well said. Thank you. I can't fucking.
Talk the talk,
I can't say
walk the walk.
Yeah,
So-
I think that's it. If you are looking for that. But the counter argument, though, is that people will change for the whole idea of experience. Say you maybe have a low body count, even if you're a virgin. You want experience as a man, because they say body count as a man is different from a woman. But if it comes to pure, really, what's
Well,
the difference? And how does that relate to this?
But also, it comes to like the religious aspect, right? Why is it that in every religion it is it's, let's say, something wrong to go and sleep around. Why is it wrong? And it also relates to why everyone wants to break that rule, right? I feel like there's a reason why it's there, the law is there, and if you break it, I don't know where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Well, I
keep
think I
breaking.
know where you're going with this, and I can kind of answer. We, as humans, we
Yes,
are
please
full
do.
of sin, and since the beginning of time, since Adam and Eve, they
Right.
committed the
It's a
first
common
sin.
thought.
Eve took the apple of knowledge and ate it, and that was the kind of like the first sin that kind of broke into, the rest of us. So we're full of sin. We want to sin. We want to break rules, and that's like the kind of like the nature of us. So it's not weird, uncommon to say, but yeah,
It's not weird to think about it.
people will like to, they have this, need. They kind of have like this, again, it's like the devil like talking behind their head and saying like, oh, go do this. This is gonna feel good. This is gonna empower you. This is gonna, solve all your problems. This is gonna make you happy. The devil likes to promise you a lot of things with the snap of a finger and give you riches, go from rags to riches in an instant with it, committing, certain things that are immoral or bad, or, breaking the rules, breaking God's rules, to be specific.
Yeah.
That's a
I,
great
I
point.
also want to say, to what you were saying, it's I feel like you should always be open-minded in looking for a relationship, but going out there trying too much, there's no benefits. You're only gonna regret it in the long run. So you should always just be patient, but have your mind or your eyes open to a certain possibility. Don't just close your eyes. Be like, you know what? I'm gonna just focus on myself. I just want to do this. Fuck the rest. Fuck relationships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck this whole desire thing.
But
As
have
as
it-
humans, we
just
do have
keep
the
looking
ability
for
to
it, yeah.
multitask, so we can focus on
100%.
ourselves whilst also, looking for a partner or trying to build a relationship.
Question.
Yeah.
What is your guys' response to, oh, it's for experience? Fucking a random bitch.
Oh yeah, I thought Guy too. You were gonna respond to that because you said, "Oh, I have an answer. I have an answer." You didn't want to let me respond, but you never did. But
Ghosted.
since you
I
didn't,
like-
you're not gonna
I like
answer.
to
Well,
cut out.
my response.
I was gonna say. I was gonna say.
Tell me. Why is it why should you or why should you not care about experience? Guy two.
I thought Taiwan expressed.
The man in red was supposed to go.
Back to you, Guy too.
Why can't wait? Can you repeat that question?
Okay.
Just repeat one last time.
All right, I'm guy 2 and I don't want to fuck bitches, but my friend guy 1 tells me, "Oh, bro, do it for experience, it's experience you're not going to have it when you're older, right? When you're older, your dick won't work." Yada yada yada. I wish I could be your age. How do you respond to that? Because you're not going to get the opportunity when you're older. Alex Hermosi, he's 35, and he said he'd pay all the money in the world to be 25, 10 years, even though he has all this money. What are your thoughts, with this whole experience and not endeavoring in this whole? I find degenerate, but what do you think?
Okay. Well, you can also be like, experience is, what is the experience? Is it like going ham and doing everything, or is it just going and attracting girls? Let's say.
So I want to say, well, you say what is experience? Putting, experience
Experience, the
in
whole
general is
Yeah.
putting something in practice. It's not the theoretical. It's doing it physically. But I want to say, and I agree with Guy One, it is degenerate. Something I want to say is that and again, this is my personal opinion. I think you're more lonely when you are with a lot of women than just one. When you wake up to a different woman like every day or every week, and you're not having a connection with any of these women, you're just kind of doing this seamlessly, and you know, there's no attachment. It's just this sexual pleasure or need that you want. It's meaningless basically, and the real reason why you're doing it is why are you sleeping with all these women? Just for the sexual pleasure of it. You're not. It's not a. There's not really anything else to it. Let's be honest. But when you wake up, you know, every morning to the same woman greeting you, that loves you, that makes you breakfast, that cares for you, that is attending to you every morning, and it is a completely different experience. That feeling of love, that feeling of, you know, being with someone that cares for you, is gonna combat and beat no matter how many, you know, supermodels in the world you've been with. It's not gonna it's not gonna be a glorious feeling. You're not gonna feel fulfilled. Actually, you're never gonna feel fulfilled. You're still gonna, when you're sleeping around with all these women, you're just gonna keep wanting more and more and more, until you just get like physically like exhausted, and you know you hit your you know your 50s or your 60s, like you said, your dick don't work no more. So what the hell do you do now? You know, if you've exhausted all your weapons and now you have no women, you can't really you know, sleep around anymore, and now you're actually gonna physically wake up alone every morning, and you're not gonna have a family, you're not gonna have sons to greet to raise, and then you're gonna realize, oh, maybe meaning of life, I've missed that part and I fucked up. I think most guys are gonna realize, and if not, they end up, you know, dying of young age because they've lived a wild, crazy life.
Yeah, true. Guy two.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait.
Well, I think that's a really good point. Well, as guy two gets caught by the FBI.
Yeah, guy two got disconnected. Matrix attack once again.
Matrix attack. Yeah. I think a big thing though is that when you have this experience, right? It's like, what does that really mean if you're gonna find the woman that you want to settle down with? You know, all that experience will mean nothing, right? Like, what's the point of meeting some random woman and chatting up some shitty pickup line when you want to have a genuine relationship with someone that cares? You don't have to think about all that. So that's something to keep in mind.
I want to actually, like, yeah, I want to add something to what we were talking about before, because it also comes to the perspective of what are, like, let's say you as a person, you have your morals, right? You have certain morals that you share with us, let's say with me, and some people don't have those morals. Their morals are different. For them, maybe having a family or even the idea of a family, they don't even think about. They don't even think about all the consequences that's gonna happen with sleeping around, let's say. So I feel like everyone gets that maturity eventually, or they realize it. Some just for some, it takes more time, and they have to make certain mistakes to realize that or to achieve that mentality.
Yeah, but I have a question though. Is one too many? Say, you know, oh, I want to sleep around just for one girl. Is that gonna spiral down, or do you think, oh, I should just do 3 and then stop? Like,
Well,
what's that sort of
Yeah.
barrier, if there is any, or there should be none?
Well, it depends on you. Like, you know yourself best, right? I feel like the experience is not, it's not something you should be unattractive to.
Yeah.
But it depends also, like, your morals. Like, if you're someone religious, obviously don't go and do that. But if you're not someone who has those values, it's fine. Like, do whatever you want, as long as you understand that eventually too much of this, especially sleeping around, is gonna have big consequences.
Right.
So
Yeah,
just
kind of
be
like drugs. I mean, you can try weed once
exactly, yeah.
and be fine, but when you start consuming it on a
Weekly.
daily basis, then you know your lungs and your brain are gonna start becoming fucking Goo.
Yeah. Very interesting.
Also,
It
I
all
want to say
connects.
something. It's related to fuck. I keep losing my train of thoughts today.
It's because you're wearing red today.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
if you wore black, you would.
Like I'm following the conversations and sometimes I get lost in them. I'm focused in so much in something you guys have
Brain
said.
dead.
I'm making whole perspectives in my head. I'm using that word a
Yeah.
lot.
Making you
Yeah.
think.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
while you think, I want to just say one other point. And with all these questions that I'm asking,
Yeah.
a big conclusion as well is for the audience as well is what's your morals, right? Because obviously it's that is what's gonna dictate your perception of it, and there's no clear cut answer apart from how you guide yourself with morals. I think if you're a good person and you want to do what's good, you want to indulge in habits that are good for you, right? And I think sleeping around is one of those things where I don't think it's good for you because as Thai Express pointed out, right, case point, if you're 50, 60 and you still have this attitude, most likely you're not going to be in a relationship. You know, you're not going to have that fulfilling need that you want. And it's the people who talk the talk. And I think you don't really hear it often in social media. It's those loving relationships, you know, it's something that, you know, they stick to it and find someone that feels the same. And a lot of those marriages go ahead. They're not the ones that are divorced. So it's quite interesting to see, you know, mindsets of people and the resulting outcomes. So with that, I think navigate the world by being open-minded, having open doors, but really trust your instincts and have your morals with you. And if it doesn't work, you know, at least you have your morals to back you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I agree.
You have something to thrive for. You have that foundation that guides you, that leads you.
Right.
Because if you think about it, in some way, the essence of life is love. Love is the essence of life because I feel like everyone in their deathbed, even if they're millionaires, they rather when they're dying be surrounded if they can choose their death, they would rather be surrounded by their loved ones. Right?
Exactly.
They wouldn't. So I feel like that's love. At the end of the day, is the biggest accomplishment you can achieve. So lowering that the risk is no sorry lowering the chances of you of lowering the chances of having love. God damn it! I lost my train of thought today.
It's a difficult conversation. It's a difficult conversation, guy. Too. You know,
I
you can get lost. You can get lost in the
brain
love
dead.
of thought
Fucking brain dead.
just by trying to explain it. That's how difficult it is, and
It's
that's
all
the
because of love. It's not
and
because
that's
of
also
your
the
brain dead.
beauty of it,
Yes.
right? There's
I
beauty
get
in that.
5
It's such a
perspectives, not why do I keep saying perspective? I get 5 like ideas in my head, and then I get
Maybe you
confused.
should
I'm
write
like,
it down before you even speak. Think before
Yeah,
you
that's
speak.
that's a that's a good advice.
yeah. Maybe
That's a
if you
good
have it like physically, kind of
maybe I should just shut the fuck up. I should not be
concrete.
making a podcast.
You
Maybe I'm
kind
not
of you
made for
make your idea
podcasts.
concrete, then you'll know.
You're in a podcast room. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's say for I want to actually include this for people who are younger because older people, you know, like we said, you mature and you start to realize these things, and I think you've been through enough experiences in life where once you're old enough, you'll settle down. And you hear all these things on social media, and it's like, oh, you should settle down as much as you can, as quick as you can, rather. But
Yeah.
for the people that are, let's say, even if they're 18, you know, or 16, 17, and are ambitious, and haven't been in a relationship, and they don't really have the right perception, and maybe they don't know what morals are, right? It's like, what are they gonna think? You know, like, what is that landscape? Because you have such polarizing sides, it's quite hard. But the whole idea is that you don't want to be lonely, right? Like that's why love's so important. So my question I want to ask is for someone that's driven, right, and really hasn't had that much experience, so hasn't really thought of all of this. Is, you know, do they just reject 100% and focus on work and say fuck that, or really what is loneliness? Like what is this whole thing? And I'll say my answer, but I want to hear both of your take on that when it comes to the whole idea of loneliness, work, people who are not experienced, and, you know, like, what's the overall landscape and how should it be? I guess, perceived, and what's the best way with it?
I
if you were
think
to tell someone.
I think if you have this experience of loneliness, I think it has to it has a somewhat of a connection to being desperate. If you're not desperate, I think it is hard to be or to feel lonely. Especially talking in terms like when you're looking for someone, when you want to be with someone, and also if you're like in a room alone, if you live alone, and you feel lonely, you're also not in good company. So I think it's also something that you have to work on yourself. Maybe your own character is not it's not you're not in a good place yourself, so you need to work on your own character. You need to feel good with your own self and start from there. You need to love yourself first before you love others.
That's a good one. Yeah, and I think yeah, that's perfect. I want to hear Guy Two's response on that too.
What was the question?
Oh
About
right, you said you
loneliness?
shut the fuck up, right?
No,
Loneliness.
no, loneliness. I know it was loneliness, but what was the question? Could you
So
repeat?
in general, what is loneliness to you, Guy too?
And as well as what would you tell someone that is in this, I guess, predicament where they want to get done work, but they're also lonely, and it's like, oh, you hear on social media, oh, don't focus on women, like do all that, right?
Yeah. Also, it's like it's not. I feel like the what's unattractive is the feeling of loneliness. It's not because being alone sometimes is necessary. So I feel like no one really wants to be lonely and feel lonely in life, right? I feel like, in my opinion, it's the decisions you make, right, leads you to you feeling lonely. Again, maybe someone, but like Ty said, if you have that desperation or desire, you can get yourself out of that loneliness. Because some people might just be unlucky and they're born in a very lonely situation, right? But they can still get out of it. Their their way is just harder, but they can still do it. So I feel like loneliness, if you stay in it, if you manage to make that your lifestyle, that is that's by you making wrong choices.
Great point. I think that's it. I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
like, yo, honestly, there's not really such thing as lonely. If you are alone, let's say, okay, you have things to do outside. You can enjoy the wind. You can enjoy nature. You can
Yeah.
really meet people. You can create friendships, relationships, meet women, meet guys, whatever it is. You can create that. It's coming from you. It's loving yourself.
With the
Exactly, 'cause we're so
exception that you're in
fixated.
a 4x4 meter cell in a hole, middle of nowhere, imprisoned for the rest of your life. But yes, I get what you mean, Guy
Yeah.
One, and I agree with that.
That's guy two
because-
right there. He's
yeah.
going to jail for sure.
Yeah, of course. I'm already in jail right now. We're so fixated in having being surrounded with people, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm speaking for myself. Sometimes like being alone, I feel like I don't want to be seen alone. So I'm gonna just go be with people because that is precise, that's seen better, and I feel better because of that.
Is it a coping
Yeah.
mechanism?
I feel like it is
You got a dog.
sometimes. It is. But like a dog doesn't, as much as it gives you that lovingness, it doesn't give you the human interaction.
No,
So-
but to others, it thinks it looks like you're not lonely.
I like
No,
that
I
you
feel
bring
like-
that up though. A dog, man's
Yeah.
best friend, as they say.
Yeah. Because a dog brings something so much different than a human. Like let's say you cannot compare the way you love a dog to the way you love
Well,
your
like picking
girlfriend,
up
your
his
wife.
shit.
Well, that's like you caring for it. If you love that.
Well,
that
a
you're gonna
dog
you're
can
gonna
love
do it.
you unconditionally, no matter who you are, where you are, what your situation is. So a lot of people can definitely benefit from the company of a dog.
Yeah, of course.
Facts.
Dogs are better than cats. Fuck cats.
Yeah.
On that note, I say dogs are better than cats or some situations. I want to get credit. I want to give credit to cats though. I like cats a lot.
They have.
I'm not.
They
A,
have.
I'm,
They
I'm
have
not
their-
a.
They have their
pussies, though.
pros.
Yeah,
They have
the-
their pros.
Pros and cons.
I just want to say, not fuck cats, but fuck cats over dogs. not like in general. If you were to give them a tier list, cats are second, right? They're not the worst animal, but they cannot be compared to dogs. That's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, what if you had a pet rabbit? Or
Yeah,
better,
those are
a
not.
pet
Those
rat.
are not. Well, I don't need.
You ever see those homeless people with the pet rats?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
New
odd.
York.
It's actually,
New York.
you know, rats are actually very intelligent creatures.
smart as
A
well.
very
They're
intelligent
smart.
species of rodents, to be exact.
They'll get you food for sure.
Yeah, no, and they have they have an odd sense of you know, loyalty as well. Like you said, like you see these homeless people with cats like on their shoulders, kind of like, you know, as if it's like some pet parrot that always accompanies them, and know that this person is like, you know, like a
rabies.
But I would have
Yeah.
a pet squirrel. I would pet because you know squirrels are technically rats, but pretty rats. So in terms of like IQ, they're pretty much the same thing. But and they're pretty.
You
sound
just
like you're a
reminded
homeless
me-
person right now.
You just reminded me of a scene in a certain movie. I don't know if anyone will
Alone?
get this. Inglorious Bastards, in the opening scene, when the SS officer enters the Frenchman's house in the farmland when they were occupying the French territory. I don't know if anyone remembers that, but to whoever does it, they'll know what I'm talking about. They'll know what I'm talking about.
Editor, just
Editor, pull
play
it
the
up,
clip.
pull it up. Thank
Yeah,
you.
work.
But I think this was a great podcast overall. We talked about the big underlying themes when
Yeah.
it comes to standards, and you know, I think honestly it shouldn't be too black and white. You know, you're navigating life. There's experience that will happen anyway. It's stick to your morals and trust your gut.
Yeah, exactly. And hey, comment down below. Do you guys want to hear us talk more about these specific topics or this
We love the
specific
comments.
topic? I personally
we love
like
reading
it.
these comments. There's a lot of comments. We
Yeah.
love it. Please
Yeah.
continue.
Yeah. And I mean, we'll try to read them all. Okay.
Yeah, if you're lucky and we managed to see it.
Yeah.
If you're
I
one
know,
of the
Guy
lucky ones,
too.
then
You
maybe,
tell
yeah.
me you've been overwhelmed, right? A lot of comments. It's been quite difficult.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
they've been-
I know.
they've
We
been
tasked
saying
you
how
with
they
that
prefer
job.
Guy 2. They're saying how they prefer Guy 2 over like Guy 1. So I do appreciate those comments. Keep them coming.
I doubt that. I
And,
doubt that.
and I do agree with you guys. So thank you for supporting us.
And
Also,
on that
don't
note,
forget-
I just want to say,
But
guys.
don't forget to subscribe to our Patreon as well. Sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Please, do. Yeah,
Don't
please
forget
comment
Patreon.
quick so we can read your comments.
Yeah, exactly. And
Please.
I just want to say, guys and
Please
girls
fucking
also, because
comment.
we have a female fan base as well, obviously.
Yeah.
Don't be a
Don't be
lonely
lonely,
fuck,
brothers.
okay? Go out there, have fun, enjoy life,
Agreed.
enjoy the sunshine coming through the window, enjoy your cup of coffee in the morning, you know, enjoy everything, be grateful.
Yeah.
And
Say good. Whatever you're feeling,
Exactly.
say good.
exactly.
grateful.
You get shot in the
Just-
leg, good.
Be grateful that you're still alive. Be grateful that he didn't
That's
shoot
it.
you in the head. Okay.
Exactly.
Good.
Exactly.
Sounds like
Stop.
you
There,
wanna
you
do
can
it.
always make something positive out of something negative. Positivity
Exactly.
is very easy. Hard, but we choose
Whoa, whoa,
it.
whoa! What did you say
Why?
just
Because
there?
we like
Excuse
hard
me?
things.
What, Tiffany?
What? What?
Negativity.
Hey, oh my God! He doubled down and give it to the next one. Okay. All right. Thank you for watching,
Thank you all
everyone.
for watching.
This has been Mystery Talks podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one. Episode every week. We out.
Legal.